Hello, and welcome to the Discheads podcast. I'm one of your hosts.
Hey, it's him.
It's me. And it's that guy.
This is the same joke I did last episode.
Was it? All right.
Yeah, I said, it's me, joined by him. Hey everyone, it's me, Lachlan, joined by Jacob. Say hi, Jacob.
We're just on autoplay at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do my famous catchphrase and say, I'm really tired today, Jacob.
I thought it's great.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I got a lack of sleep yesterday. I thought it was great. There you go. Now I've incorporated
I ran
it.
over my cat with my car.
So anyway, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I hope you've all gotten laid. If not,
someone at least.
Welcome to my world.
I hope at least someone makes physical contact with you in some way.
Hold your hand. Hold your toes.
Maybe brush past you with their legs.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. But we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about in this episode. But before we begin, I'd just like to plug our social media real quick. So you can catch me on at the Van of Truth on Twitter. How about you, Jacob?
I honestly forgot what my handle
Lizard _terrible.
That's right, thank you.
We also have at, I believe, the Discheads Show. Either that or Discheads Show, where I post random shitty memes that Jacob sends me about how bad our podcast is. Follow Jacob at Terrible Lizard on YouTube, and you can follow my channel. You probably won't be able to find because there's zero videos on it. The Van of Truth. But anyway.
Well, thank you for plugging my social media. I keep forgetting it's not.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the TLG podcast.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were here. So we have our first ever guest just in time for Valentine's Day. So we're gonna have a hot date with Mr.
It's officially Overlord, and today we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, it's our good buddy. It's our good buddy, officially Overlord on YouTube, also known as Simeon. My original podcast co-host before I decided to abandon him.
Before you became a traitor and absolutely left me in the dust.
Before I abandoned him for some younger, fresher meat.
Fresher booty.
Look, just because I'm canonically like 375 years old.
So, Simi, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to our Valentine's Day special. How do you feel being here?
I'm pretty hot and steamy at the moment.
I know, it's quite hot in this room. You want to tell us a bit about yourself?
A bit about myself. Well, I am a man.
Shit. This changes everything.
You've already accomplished more than either of us.
I have legs, believe it or not.
We are just boys.
And on those legs have feet.
This is a revelation. This is shocking.
Can you tell us more about those feet?
Well, believe it or not, on each feet, I have 5 toes on each foot.
Oh, that's fucking steamy. Go on.
Can I see them?
I mean, if you want, here you go.
This is a fresh update. Simi is now showing me his feet.
If you take a look, you can see there's a bit of hair on my big toe.
Oh,
it's pretty steamy.
Fine sproutlings.
There is, yeah.
So welcome to the Foot Fetishist podcast.
So why are you here, Simi? Why are you on this podcast?
Why am I on this podcast? I'm here you two are going to interview me and you're going to try and get me a date.
That's true.
I thought we were already on a date.
I think this is our date.
This is the date.
Trying to decide who's the best match for you. We got me and Jacob here. We both spring chickens. Two roosters looking to
roosters.
Joke about cock because roosters. Anyway, so we're gonna decide which one of us gets to take you home and pound you tonight. So
I've already done an enema, so it's nice and clean up there. So
very good. You've douched.
Yeah, I've douched. So
oh man,
I've got the lube in the back pocket. Just all good.
Well,
we sorted.
That's very good.
He came prepared.
So Simi, officially Overlord.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Officially Overlord is a channel that I make videos on.
Do you?
I in fact do.
Are you sure?
Indeed. The most recent video was from like a month or 2 ago. The video before then was from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, very good. He's got a consistent upload schedule, just like us.
That's what we have on the podcast because similar interests.
Once every 6 months. That's what keeps the viewer retention covered.
Exactly.
Well, to those out of the loop, Simi, used to do a podcast with me called the Lost Gamers Podcast. It's still up.
Available on iTunes.
Yeah, it's available on iTunes. You can still find it to this day.
I thought we weren't mentioning that. Yes.
Yeah, back on my old channel, Gamer Skits, I used to... Oh, fucking... What a name.
The good old days of Gamer Skits.
Simi was pretty much my YouTube partner. We did everything together. We played so many games of varying levels of quality.
We played games, we fucked each other,
That's
we
true.
made podcasts, all the usual YouTube buddy stuff.
Yeah.
Butt buddy
Except
stuff.
for that podcasting, that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
So, we have Spiderman with us today.
Yes. There is a... What is he? How big do you reckon that is?
What is he?
I don't know, like
20...
almost a meter, just under.
Yeah, actually, I think you're right. About a meter tall Spider-Man sitting next to us as well, keeping us safe.
He's slowly sliding down, so he's probably going to fall over and make a noise at some point.
Yeah, well... Yeah, write in the comments. Have you heard him fall over?
Haha.
Someone will put a sneaky time code in. Actually, the noise he'll make is probably just Tobey Maguire crying the whole time.
Well...
Before we continue,
Okay.
I'd like to ask a couple questions about this podcast.
Okay.
Alright, so the first question is, what's the sort of meme status of this podcast? Are we talking like 100% serious, 0% meme, 100% meme, 0% serious? Or like, sort of like a mix between the two?
The podcast is a meme at this
I
point.
would say that's 0% serious.
Very good.
Haven't you listened to this podcast?
No.
Well...
Steamy stuff.
Wasn't one of our podcasts talking about like Earth-chan at some point, and it was like
No.
that was like some sort of like Earth anime girl.
I don't think so.
I think there was
I
one-
think this is just your search history, dude.
That's my Valentine's Day sorted. Earth-chan.
I
yeah.
thought you just put Jurassic Park on and just go for that.
It's true. We just watched Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom on a loop and talk about Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
The general gist of it.
and talk about how much we loved it, and how
Mhm.
great it was.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, that's the gist. Not 100% serious. Maybe a little serious, depends on how well the date goes. Like if we
Yeah.
make prolonged eye contact with each other, and talk about our destinies
Mm-hmm.
and the star alignment or whatever
Yeah.
fuck people talk about on dates.
I don't think people usually talk about...
Oh,
Look, if you're on a date...
those Geminis, man.
Yeah, if you're on a
Geminis.
date and people are talking about their star sign, you're not on a good date.
Get the fuck out.
They're literally Cancer.
Just doesn't matter if you've had your food yet. Just pay for it and fucking get out of there.
You don't get your chicken nuggies. You just fucking run.
Alrighty, Simi.
Mm.
I'm gonna kick things off. I got a question for you here. We are predominantly a movie-focused podcast. What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. Now, if we want a meme answer, I'd probably go for the Room.
Okay,
Ooh.
that's a good answer.
That's a good answer.
I would have gone with the Killer Bean movie or whatever the hell it is.
Killer Bean's a good movie.
Ooh,
We haven't covered that on the podcast.
that's a good point.
Should have a
That's a
viewing
good
party.
point.
Yeah.
Commentary track.
100% serious answer
Yeah.
is the 2019 release of Cats.
Oh, you motherfucker!
Oh shit.
No, I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk about this. Jacob, you haven't even seen it.
I know, but I can already get the vibe that it's not
It's
in the
Simi, you can't drop this on me this early into an episode. You're just going to drain me of all of my life force.
We're already dying of heat exhaustion. Now we're gonna die of talking about cats.
Oh, I want a serious answer from you, boy.
See, the issue is that I enjoy that many movies that I don't have a favorite. However, I could give you a couple of the high ones.
Drop them off.
Give us
So-
a top 10, I guess.
If I'd have to pick like a Marvel, probably would be like Thor Ragnarok is
a good one.
on point film.
It's a good choice.
Animated film. I'm gonna go back to my childhood roots and go the first Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
It's on
Jacob.
point. On point.
Jacob just clenched his fist.
and my cheeks. I was like, ooh.
Favorite dinosaur movie would probably be Jurassic Park 3.
The best one.
I respect you.
Man of culture.
Favorite Harry Potter would probably be the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them 1. A movie that I haven't seen.
Oh, I envy you.
Is this enough? Have I...
What's your favorite horror movie?
Favorite horror movie? The Lemon Tree Passage.
I was gonna say cats, but
Jacob, you haven't seen Lemon Tree Passage, have you?
I've been to Lemon Tree Passage.
So have I. So have I. We are not far from that location right now.
You're going to drop our addresses as well.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the podcast.
We live at.
We live at 135 George Street, Parramatta.
Are we going to cut that out? Is that actually the location? I can't remember.
Anyway, great movie.
What, cats?
Lemon Tree Passage.
Oh yeah, Lemon Tree Passage.
So,
please tell me about that because
I actually learnt some things from that movie.
Like how to not have contraception?
Exactly.
Be Catholic, like.
No. What you have to do is if you do it up the bum, no babies. It's a real line from that movie. A guy keeps saying it over and over. He's like, remember, up the bum, no babies.
You would probably get rabies though. No babies, but
no babies. No babies, big rabies.
Big rabies. Anal rabies.
I like my girls with rabies, dude.
Frothing, nice and lubricated in the mouth.
Yeah, like a wild animal. I love it.
Any.
If there's a risk of getting my dick bitten off, I'm all in.
I don't want it.
All right, yeah. Well, that's fair enough. It's a good answer.
Any rabies girl's gonna hit us up on this Valentine's Day.
Well, yeah, maybe you're onto something. Maybe next Halloween, when we do our annual, except we skipped it last year, annual Discheads Halloween special, we should watch Lemon Tree Passage.
Absolutely.
It's a disaster. Well, thank you, Simi. Thank you for sharing.
I think I say thank you for coming on.
Anyway.
Yes. I didn't prepare any questions.
I got a few things written down.
Let me.
Hang on. I don't want you to see yet. I've got one question I want to hide from you.
Yes. I guess
Simi already knows, but I want to hide it. But we'll get there. Simi, you're a big gamer.
I am, in fact, a big gamer.
What's your favorite video game?
Favorite video game?
We're just trying to get a gauge for what your interests are, so that we know whether we want to pursue you sexually.
All right. If we want a 100% serious answer,
Yeah.
Not GTA. Actual title of the video game.
Yes, there is a video game, Jacob, called Not GTA 5.
Actually, it used to be called that.
Oh yeah.
And now it's called something along the lines of copyright.
It's called Not the Title We Wanted.
That's the one.
Because they got in trouble for being called Not GTA 5.
Oh, yeah, you did show me this on Gamerskits. I was like,
yeah, Gamerskits made a video of that.
I completely forgot when he said not GTA. I was like,
he also played Not COD, which Simi personally gave me as a present.
Indeed.
To make me play it because, all right, Jacob, here's a story about how much of a piece of shit I am.
I know.
But I bought Not GTA 5 to make a YouTube video. All proceeds of that game go to charity. I played it for 20 minutes and then refunded the game.
Well, I guess those starving African children in Cambodia will miss the $20 that you gave them.
It was like $5 maybe at most.
That is pretty scummy. I mean, this also kind of highlights that as well. That black tube.
I'm glad you're making a visual joke here.
Visual joke.
This thing right here. This thing that everyone is looking at.
This Brum poster wrapped up.
Alright, you're going to make me tell this story?
Yes, you are.
Alright, so a couple of years ago I went to Scotland. Now our friend Isaac, in fact Simi and I made some videos with Isaac back in the day.
Better known as Spanky Wanky.
Spanky Wanky is his YouTube channel name.
Go check out some sick Battlefield and Call of Duty montages.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Call of Duty? He never played that. It's a garbage game. CS:GO.
That's alright. That's the one.
I'm
glad you got there in the end. He for many years on Steam has been named Brum, the classic children's show program character, the car that comes to life and drives around. A couple of years ago I was in Scotland and I
did heroin.
I did some heroin and ended up in a small town just as a stopover for the night while going to London.
While on a heroin high.
while on my heroin run. And I realised I was staying in the town where Brum was filmed. They had a little car. What's the thing? Museum. Yes, car museum. The car museum is where Brum lives in the actual show. Really? He lives in the car museum because he's an old car, and he comes to life each day. He drives out of the car museum, and they were advertising. They have Brum there in the car museum, and I was like, holy shit! So I went in there. Got to take a photo with him. I might get arrested for this because it said "Do not touch." I fucking touched him. I touched Brum. I have touched him. And then I bought 2 posters, one for me, one for Isaac, because he's such a big fan of Brum. I come home back to the land of Oz. I buy a black tube to put the poster in to keep it safe. I go to Isaac's house. I give him the poster. And I question him about it a year later, and he's like, yeah, I don't know where it went. And we've just found it on my floor. So apparently I went to his house, knocked on the door, and said, here, have this. And then drove home with it. Because I...
Serious question about Brum, though.
Yes.
Could he get upstairs? I can't remember.
I think he drives down the stairs.
Well, that would be pretty easy. But
what if he drives down into a basement, down some stairs? Now he's stuck in a basement for the rest of his life.
Well, he's stuck in a museum for the rest of
He's stuck in a museum. So...
Was there stairs on the museum?
I don't know. We'll have to ask him next time I'm there.
Poor Brum, held captive by his Scottish overlords.
Anyway,
speaking of overlords,
what were we talking about? Your favorite game?
Something about
games.
Oh yes, favorite game. That's a very difficult question.
It's a loaded question.
It's a loaded question.
We asked the hard-hitting questions.
The hard-hitting questions here. I can't imagine what could possibly hit harder. If we're gonna go by pure gaming hours on Steam, I'd probably have to go with Counter-Strike Global Offensive is my most played game on Steam.
That's my most played game too, but it's not my favorite game.
Understandably so. My favorite game, going back to my childhood, would probably be my first game, which was Pokemon Emerald.
Ooh, Jacob once again is clenching every single thing he has.
I don't hate Pokemon. I just want to beat the shit out of people who play.
No, my favorite game is Pokemon Go.
Ooh.
I tried getting that at one point, and I was like, no.
I downloaded that the day it came out.
Exactly. Played it for 2 months and then gave up.
I played it the day it came out and then never touched it ever again because I went, wow, that ran down my battery really quick.
Yes.
And then never opened it again.
Well, I think the reason why I didn't play it again is I had an iPhone 4. So
that's fair enough.
Fair enough.
Well, we don't really talk about video games much on this.
No, can I ask you, do you believe in Herobrine?
No, actually, yes, unfortunately. But they removed him every single update.
Thankfully, they removed him in the new update, so he's not a worry anymore.
Yeah. Have you ever encountered him? Have you got any spooky, Bigfoot stories?
See, this one time I was in year 5, right? I was playing Minecraft. Actually, I think Minecraft wasn't out when I was in year 5.
Like year 7.
I would have been very young, and I was playing Minecraft on a really bad laptop. So I had the render distance down to nothing. And it was running at 10 FPS. It was bad. But I was playing creative. I was building a cool monorail thing. When I went and looked at it last year or whatever, it's tiny. It's horrible. But I swear in the distance there was a player model, but I was playing in single player, and it was.
That's pretty.
It's pretty scary, dude.
We should have saved this for the Halloween special. This is terrifying.
Yeah. Blew my load.
And then there was a Minecraft cave noise on top of that.
What? No.
Can we play that?
It was the scariest thing I've ever experienced.
You want me? All right.
Only
Jamie, pull it up.
by the Lemon Tree Passage.
Lemon Tree Passage. Yeah, that's pretty scary.
That's true. That's true.
Second scariest.
That is pretty scary. Well,
I
can't find it.
What is your fondest memory gaming?
Fondest memory when gaming. See, this one time I was playing.
Scariest moment when gaming.
So this one time I was playing Rocket League, right, with my bestest friend Gamer Skits.
Oh no.
And he says that he has to go somewhere, go do something important. So I'm like, all right.
Oh no, not this story. Oh fuck. We're just adding to the Lachlan's a piece of shit agenda.
So yeah, he said that he had to go do something. I'm like, fair enough, that's fine. I'll go play 1v1, some online or whatever. So I searched for a match. We've ended the Skype call because it would have been Skype back in the day.
No, it was Discord.
Was it Discord? No,
yeah. So I left the game. I was like, I'm busy. My dad's my dad's painting. I'm helping him out, so I can't play. And then yeah.
So that's fair enough. Whatever. So I start playing solo 1v1, and the first match that I get matched up against is against Lachlan Wire.
So what happened is I said, Simi, I can't play games with you. Went offline on Steam, hopped into a 1v1 and matched against Simi. He's like, excuse me?
That is pretty scummy. Unforgivable.
I dogged the boys so that I could play the boys.
You played the boys.
I played them
yourself.
for a fool.
You played yourself more.
I guess I did. Yes, I did.
I think the scummiest thing I've ever really done to a friend is they rang me up to see if I wanted to go to their house, but someone knocked on the door, and I was on the home phone. I was like, hang on a sec, left the phone hanging, and it was like Jehovah's Witnesses at the door, and I was like, fuck off. And no, I just took their pamphlets in, and I was like, yeah, sure, cool. Then I went back to my room and continued watching Yogscast. And while the phone's dangling, my parents come home like 3 hours later, and they're like, why is the phone dangling? And I was like, oh yeah, shit, someone wanted to catch up with me today.
And I feel like, how long ago was this?
This would have been probably grade 10, year 10, something like that.
Okay. I was going to say, if it was earlier, then it would have been back when your parents still paid for, like, each minute of the call. So you just, like, charged them a shitload. I did something a bit similar once. I was at my friend's house. Ben. You know Ben. You do not know Ben.
I don't know Ben.
Yeah.
I know a few bands, but probably not this band.
Better known as Lumasabe.
Oh yeah, he was also in an old Gamers Kids video. Had a series called Luma Land Adventures, which was his Minecraft server. First video Simi ever appeared in. I spelled his name wrong in the chat. They were like, oh yeah, Simi's in this game. And I was like, hey Simi, it's Lachlan. Click. And I spelled it all fucked up and weird. But anyway, so I'm at Ben's house. This would be like year 7 or year 8. And we're like in the back of his parents' car. And he's like, the boot's really big, like you can fit inside it. And he climbed inside the boot. And I shut the boot on him. And he's like, I can't get out. And then I ran away I had to take a shit real bad. I ran into his bathroom. I took a shit. And I clogged the toilet. And I was like, fuck. And I spent legitimately like 30 minutes unclogging the toilet. And then... I realised I still have Ben locked in the boot of the car on a hot fucking summer's day.
Oh shit.
And I've been gone for like an hour. Because I was shitting for a while, and then I spent a good while cleaning it up as well.
Oh, man.
And I went back, and he was like, what'd you do? And I was like, I didn't want to tell him I clogged his toilet, so I was like, yeah, I left you there, I thought it'd be funny. And he forever thought I was a total piece of shit.
You clog a man's toilet, and you keep him like hidden in the boot of his car, just like to withhold his information from him. Oh man.
I don't think I ever told him, so Ben, if you're listening, which I don't think you are, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for locking you in a boot and clogging your toilets. Punishment, a fate worse than death, some might say.
Well, I was going to say I could top that, but this happened to a dog. Similar story, right?
He locked a dog in the boot and then shit in his toilet.
A shat in his food bowl. No, it was around about Christmas time 2018. Family came over and my aunties and cousins, they brought their some sort of, what's a breed? It's not quite a Cocker Spaniel, but looks like a Cocker Spaniel.
Springer Spaniel?
Big Cocker Spaniel. I don't know.
Springer Spaniel?
Probably. I don't know. King Charles.
Cock and spank me.
Cock and spank.
Cock and ball torture?
Cock and ball.
Cock and ball torture.
There's a bit of cock and ball torture at Christmas time.
With the dog? Or?
With the dog, yeah. Just peanut butter. And
No! No!
But no, it 40-degree day. Everyone's here. And I was like, no, it's weird. Everything went wrong with this dog. This dog is like, it had some sort of like autoimmune disease. And I remember one day I really offended my cousin saying, how's your dog? And it's, what's that disease that Stephen Hawking has?
Erotic asphyxiation.
How's your dog's premature ejaculation? Yeah, and she's like, it's not auto function, whatever the fuck it's called. But we left that poor little diseased dog in the car for 2 hours on Christmas Day, and it only took them a while. They were like,
I think that's an offense, Jacob. I think you
can
arrest you for this story.
It's animal abuse.
It's alive, and we just didn't realize. We didn't. It's not alive. It's dead, but not because of it's not because of that. It's not because of that. We just completely forgot that it was in the car, and it was fine. It was just a little bit thirsty.
So funny story.
Did you also abuse an animal once?
Yes. So what happened was, it wasn't me directly.
Just so
what happened was,
an animal.
We have a cat, right?
Yeah, you do.
And it would have been like, I don't know, not quite summer, but like kind of spring, so it was kind of warm but not too hot. And my mum went to her car, opened the door, did whatever in the car, closed the door.
On the cat's tail?
No.
Okay.
And then the cat went missing. So we couldn't find the cat for like 24 hours. The next morning, my mum gets in the car, drives halfway down the driveway, and hears a meow in the background. So the cat has been in the car, like a hot car, for like almost a full day.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
So my mum comes back down the driveway and like realizes like cat piss all through her car, which is not a good smell.
No.
And yeah, that's my animal abuse story.
Wow.
I mean,
looks like you guys are both going to jail.
We're both going.
I mean, half the stories have been Lachlan's a scumbag, so...
Yeah, but I haven't done anything punishable by death.
Have you punished an animal at least?
Have I punished an animal?
Have you
Yeah, I punished it. It was punished to death.
You put the cat outside when it was meowing.
That's true. My mum... we're at my mum's place right now.
Ooh,
yeah, and my mum is at work, and she was like, "Please put the cat outside." And he really did not want to go outside, and he was crying
So
away.
you beat the shit out of him.
I was like, "I'm sorry, little one," as I tossed him off the cliff.
And I don't know. If the animal's okay in the end, I guess an animal abuse story is all right. Maybe cut that out. It's not scarred or anything.
Simi, I have the next question for you.
What's the next question?
Now we're getting into the nitty gritty of this Valentine's Day special. Now this is completely just off topic, out of nowhere. No real reason I'm asking you this. If you were in year 4 and encountered bestiality, what would you do?
So there's a funny story about that one.
Really?
It's based on a true story. Alright, so what happened was in year 4, right? I was back in Finland, where I was originally from, because I'm a boat person. Australian people get the joke. So I was in year 4, right? I was a little wee child.
A wee lad.
Wee lad, didn't quite understand what the sex was.
Ooh.
I was
Year 4 and he doesn't even know what sex is? What a fucking beta male.
So we had dogs. We have cats, we have dogs. I had a lot of dogs back in the day. Still do. And one day I was playing with the dog, right? Doing whatever year 4 kids do with their dogs. Playing catch, giving belly rubs, whatever.
Red rocket.
And I see a little red thing coming out.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So I'm like,
picked it.
Whoops.
So I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, I don't know, it's probably a thing. Who knows what it is? Because I see him like pee out of that like once before. I'm like, whatever.
So you didn't think it might be the thing I have between my legs?
Maybe,
that
but it was red, and mine isn't red. So is yours red?
Wait,
At the moment,
hang
mine
on.
is.
Wait, we can edit this out later. Yours isn't red.
No. Is yours red?
No.
I think you might have jock itch.
No, it's no. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, I kept giving him belly rubs.
I checked out.
Is this really not red? It's
What?
not supposed to be red.
It's supposed to be maybe purple. But
Keep telling the story.
Yeah.
So I kept giving him belly rubs, but like kept going like a bit closer for some reason. I don't know. Year 4,
Silly.
child, who the fuck knows?
Silly.
And at the time, I didn't know what was going on. I thought he peed on my hand.
No.
But upon further reflection,
Did you jerk off your dog?
I think I might have jerked off my dog in year 4.
Were you best friends forever after that? Do you follow you around and be like, just another one, a quick one, please?
Oh my god.
Oh man. I mean, is that abuse?
Alright, that's 2 for Simeon.
One of them was my mum, so not technically me.
Your mum jerked off a dog?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, no, the cat story in the car, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah, fuck my life.
Alright, yeah, our 4th guest, Simi's mum, is now also going to jail, along with Simi and Jacob. So it's going to be me next
Alright,
episode.
Spider-Man, what's your animal abuse story?
The time he had sex with Mary Jane Watson and killed her with his radioactive cum.
Because she's a bitch.
You familiar with that, Simi?
I am.
Yeah. That's true, audience. If you've never heard that, you look it up. That's a real thing. He killed his girlfriend with his radioactive spider cum.
Spider semen. It's on the ceiling. Oh god. Well, while we're on the topic of animal abuse,
And semen.
not quite.
Oh, okay. Just the animal abuse thing.
Just the animal abuse. This is the wonderful story that I really wanted to tell.
This is really not how I was expecting our Valentine's Day special to go. It's just nothing but animal abuse.
Nothing but animal abuse. Well, this one might top it. It wasn't me, but it was a person I know, a family member.
Okay.
This is the story I really wanted to bring up.
You're gonna dox her? You're gonna give her a name and an address?
It's my sister. So that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Jacobina.
Jacobina.
Yeah.
Ribena is her name. Her last name's Grape Drink. Yeah, no, she used to dog sit for people like just for money.
Just to sit on dogs.
Just to sit on dogs. She used to like get rid of them.
They just disappear.
Disappear. Just Goomba stomp them when you don't want your dog anymore. It's yapping too loudly. But yeah, she used to like house sit and look after dogs.
Okay.
But I can't remember whether or not she knew these people from work or she found them online and like dog sitters wanted, and she went over this people's place and to look after their really old dog, and it's going well. They leave. At the time, I think a car was getting serviced, so she had to catch the train there. So she gets there. She's looking after this really old. I think it was. Let's just say it's a Labrador because I can't remember what it was. Just a really old big dog. It fucking dies. It just dies. It up and dies on her. She's like, what do I do? And she's like, I can't ring my ring them because that's
So she does a weekend at Bernie's and
puts sunglasses on.
puts sunglasses on the dog and pretends it's a live all weekend.
Has like strings on its hands, like Wizard of Oz. Not too far off. She thought, okay. She's like, I can't ring them because I don't want to distress these people while they're out having a good time. So she thought, I'm gonna take it to my vet, but I don't have a car. Just take it to the vet to see what happened and I confirm it's dead or whatever.
So she puts it on a leash and drags it to the vet?
She puts it in a suitcase, like a traveling suitcase, and catches. And she's like, I don't know any vets near me. I'm gonna have to travel by train to the vet near where she lived. And so as she's carrying around this suitcase with a big, heavy, dead dog.
This is a fucking joke from Johnny English too.
It is. It pretty much is.
He kills the chick's cat and then he walks around with it in a bag so she can't tell.
Well, after I finish this story, I just want like insight from both of you how you would have handled this situation differently.
Okay.
Like what you would have done because she's about to hop on the train, get back to her place so she can go to the vet. But it's heavy. It's a big dog, and so
you're a big dog.
Woof, woof. The fucking hell. No, she but there's this man came up to her and was like, oh, do you need help, ma'am, with this suitcase? And she was like, yeah, thank you, please like help me carry it on. And he carried it on and like sat down next to her or something like that. And he was like, oh, it's pretty heavy, like what's in it? And she was like, oh, it's full of audio equipment.
What does Walter White say? $500,000 in cash.
$500,000 in cash.
And he just laughed at her and walked away.
Well, it may as well have been like if it's audio equipment, it might be that much money anyway. But so she's like, oh, it's just heavy. It's audio equipment. It's microphones. It's speakers. It's boom boxes. Oh my god,
it's boom boxes.
She has like a headband in there as well. But she's sitting down and like as soon as she says, look, it's full of heavy, expensive audio equipment. He goes, oh, okay. It gets to the next stop, and she says like, look, thank you for like helping me on with the bags. It was really sweet of you. He says, no problem. Train stops, doors open. He grabs the bag. He fucking bolts.
Wait.
He bolts. He grabs the bag. And
he stole the dead dog?
And she was like, what the fuck? And she's like sitting there, just like and like this, because this guy, he's sped off. He's run down. He's disappeared for good. So she gets back to the dog sitter's home, and when they come home, they're like, I'm gonna call Barney. Where's Barney? And she's like, he's dead, and I have no idea where he is. And she left. and she's never heard from him again.
Holy shit.
So this presumably bogan junkie is probably sitting at the bottom of a sewer pipe somewhere thinking, fuck yes, I've hit the jackpot. I've got really expensive audio equipment I can sell and use to buy meth. He opens them up and there's this dead fucking dog.
Oh my god.
So,
That is like a fucking... That is like legit something that would happen in like a fucked up comedy. Oh my god.
but what would he, I don't know what he would have done with the dog afterwards. You imagine like that phone call, it's like, yeah, sorry for stealing your bag. Here's your dead dog bag. Just drops it in the river somewhere.
Jesus
I think
Christ.
that might be the best story I've ever heard.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
Oh my god, thank you for being here to experience this to me.
what would you guys have done in that situation? Like, I don't know what I would have done.
Probably would have just called them and said, hey, the dog's dead, I'm sorry.
I would have done that as well, but like, I think our heart was in the right place.
How long ago was this? Like, are we talking like a couple years? Like, were smartphones a thing?
See, I'm a bit annoyed because I only heard about this story a few months ago and I had to hear it from someone else, and I was like, it feels like it probably maybe 2 years ago.
Right, so smartphones were definitely a thing.
Yes.
It's called, you Google where the nearest vet is, and then you call a taxi.
Yes. Uber would have been a thing.
Yeah.
But trains are cheaper, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're making, like, money as a dog sitter, you've clearly got enough money for an Uber. And then you don't need to stuff a dog into a suitcase.
I don't know.
Take it on a train.
I don't know my sister's financial situation. Maybe the train was her only option. She's like, I don't have enough money for a fucking taxi. Rest in peace, that dog.
Yeah,
wherever he may be. And
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day. What do we call this episode?
Red Rocket?
Valentine's Day and animal abuse.
Valentine's Day animal abuse with officially Overlord.
Mm.
Wow. Holy shit.
Mm.
Jacob. Whoa.
That's a pretty intense... Honestly, like, yeah, I get it. Like, if you already signed into that vet and you're like, you know that vet, it's probably best to take it to that vet, but fucking hell. It just seems like too much... No, it's... The bad thing is that it was like, even though she technically did nothing wrong, she looks bad.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens. It's
Yeah, I think if she had just come clean, she looks a lot better than, one, taking it in a suitcase, and two, then after the events unfold saying, yeah, I have no idea where the dog is.
Yeah.
Then they never get closure, ever.
No closure. The only person who has closure is God and this guy who stole the dog. Ugh.
Simi just showed me something on his phone. I don't know what to make of it. I have no idea what he just showed me. Apologies for the silence.
That's very good.
Yes.
Do you have something you want to say?
Yes.
This is a podcast of freeform. You can talk if you want to. You don't have to ask the teacher for permission.
Can I put my hand up and ask for permission?
Yes.
Tricks, kiddo.
So, speaking of like bogans and we've talked about heroin before on this podcast.
Earlier this episode.
Exactly.
We're all fans of heroin here.
Yeah,
Exactly. The other day,
My favorite heroin
I
is
had a run-in with some drugs. All right.
I accidentally took a tab.
Yeah. I accidentally injected myself with overdosed myself on heroin. It's fine. So for those who don't know, I am in the volunteer fire brigade, right? Mm-hmm. That's all we need to know. Mm-hmm. So I'm chilling at home, whatever, get the call to go just down the road, actually 5 houses down from where I live. And I get called to a house fire. So we go to the house fire.
Simi. Thank you for your service.
You may have heard of the Australia fires. I'll just leave it there. So I get called down, 5 houses down. It's fine. The guy was cooking sausages, left them on the frying pan. Kitchen's on fire. Usual stuff.
Was he cooking chips or something and just spilled all the oil?
No, sausages.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Probably had too much.
Pay attention!
I zoned out for half of it. Wait, shit, fire, fuck.
It's because you're not gay. Sausages, you just immediately tune it out.
I zoned out. I hear something, you like boobs.
So we get there, right? We get the hoses out, start putting the house out. It's fine, the usual stuff. And the guy comes out, clearly off his head on something. Who knows what the fuck he's on? At first we think he's drunk, then we realise, no, he's more than drunk. So what happens is he gets really angry that we're putting out his house. And keeps telling us to leave. it gets to the point where he gets so angry that he gets his little, like, not little wheelie bin, like actual wheelie bin, and throws it at us while we're trying to put our house out. At this point, we've already called the cops.
Oh my god.
He then gets even more angrier and gets a random bike that he probably stole, who knows, and throws that at us. And it was around this point that the cops arrive and tell us that this is probably one of the, like, better known ice houses in the area. And that, like, there's probably, like, multiple kilos of ice stashed in the rafters, which is why he doesn't want us to be there. And he's probably off his chops on ice. So,
I feel like that wouldn't have helped it, like, breathing in the fumes as well. Getting a little bit of ice fumes.
let's just say I went home and that was quite the night.
Yeah, no, he was fighting spiders all night.
Fighting spiders, like, chewing a hole in the back of his hand.
And yeah, that was my recent drug run-in. That's fun.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah, that was Simi's drug bust.
Drug bust. I got a similar story of I don't know with
Simi was that. I mean, Jacob was the guy in the story.
Yeah. Jacob was throwing wheelie bins at me.
Yeah, like these guys showed up and I was pretty impressed with the fire and everything, and I just didn't want them to put them out. But no, there's this I don't know if it's drug related. It just seems like the person would have been probably on something.
Off his chops.
Her chops.
Ooh. Gender.
For the ladies out there.
This is our Valentine's Day special, yes.
I didn't see this, but I know of the person because she's always out on the street near my TAFE. She's yeah. My mate was walking back to his bus stop when TAFE finished, and like he saw this woman, and Aboriginal lady. She was yelling out to someone across the street, and she was yelling a whole bunch of like racial slurs.
Okay.
Like really like heavy.
I do that on a regular basis.
Oh, so do I. Like we're gamers here after all.
Absolutely.
Like, you know.
For context, r/gamers rise up. Look it up.
My favourite Reddit. Yeah, and she's like hurling a whole bunch of racial slurs, and she's like saying like the N-word, black dog, stuff like that, really intense. And so he walks kind of like, you know, head down, like, oh, don't indulge. And then he looked back and he was like, hang on. And he looked back and like as she's continuing to yell, he looks across the street and there's no one there. She's yelling at her reflection in a shop across the street. And she's going, fucking screaming at her. And I was like,
oh my god.
That's next level ice addict fucking behavior. Just like, yelling at your own reflection.
Oh my god.
I do that every now and then.
Yell at your own reflection.
Yeah. When Simi's coming off a high from the ice that he stole from the...
When the spider.
I mean, they never did find the drugs, so we got a little stash in the truck.
Oh, very good, very good. Did you bring some to share? That's what we usually do on the podcast. We just we test hard drugs.
Maybe we won't be as tired afterwards. We have a little bit of
next time on the disc heads, we'll try
the boys try ice.
Crack cocaine.
Whatever's the most addictive. We wanna see any more date questions.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna go back into the Valentine's Day sphere here, because, you know, we got to get... How are you feeling at the moment? Do you think you're a compatible mate for Simeon?
I mean, we got plenty of relations here. We got, like, we're both
true.
into animal abuse.
Yeah,
we both
true.
hate minorities.
You guys are leaning towards being the best match. You guys, you have all the stories about drugs.
And Lachlan over here is just a piece of shit.
Yeah,
as
I'm
we
a
found
piece
out.
of shit. You guys just love torturing animals and doing hard drugs.
Piece of shit, but you're not a racist.
No.
Like, it's...
No.
You're not enough of a piece of shit. You need rookie numbers.
Alright, I gotta step my numbers up. Well, we'll see how we go. We'll see the outcome by the end of this episode. But we're diving back, like, right back into
was that like a hint that you might say something very racist by the end of this?
Look, I know myself better than anyone, and I can only hold off for so long.
You're just gonna interject at some point a really hard just like,
Anyway, it's Valentine's Day. We're getting into the real saucy questions now. Got a hypothetical for you here, Mr. Overlord. How much would someone have to pay you to get circumcised as an adult?
How much would someone have to pay me?
Yeah.
So
well,
that
I assume you're not just going to go out and get circumcised. Like,
someone would pay me to get my foreskin. So they're buying my foreskin?
They haven't said what they're going to do with it, but they just...
tin at home with all these foreskins these days.
They're basically just like, alright, you're uncircumcised. You haven't done it yet. You clearly aren't that interested in
It's
doing
like a
it.
shop vendor on the streets. You're uncircumcised. I can
Yeah,
tell.
Simmy's walking around naked because he's still high from the fucking ice, and someone's like, hey, you know, your cock would just look so good circumcised. How much do I have to pay for me to take you out back right now and
Well, that depends on what are the facilities. Is it like if it's like an actual clinic with like proper doctors?
It's just a pair of like Hello Kitty scissors.
If it's a pair of Hello Kitty scissors, probably like $100K.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd fuck up
You
your
would
cock.
let someone do it for an amount of money with Hello Kitty scissors?
I'd take 100K at this point.
Are you
100K.
kidding me?
Yeah.
100K is a lot of money, dude.
Someone to potentially fucking mutilate you.
Yeah, but 100K, you can
I just felt like my
get a
genitals were
mortgage and
trapped.
get a house with that.
Yeah, you could.
Well, it depends. Maybe here. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know about where I live.
House and mortgage.
Yeah, this
Cock
is
and balls
true.
gone.
However, if we're in like a clinic, like doctors, nice and clean, I'd probably do it for 10K.
Well, interesting development. I happen to have $10,000 right here.
I'd do it for $20. I don't care. Don't care anymore.
I'd do it for a crisp high five.
Just high five.
All right, well, $20, 10 to 100K. I don't think I would.
Because you're already
It's my little friend.
It's my little friend.
Yeah,
He gives me cheese
my
every
little
now.
my little hoodie.
Keeps
Gives
me
me
fed.
cheese. Yuck! Jesus Christ. All right, Sammy, I'm gonna keep the ball rolling. Have you tasted your own cum?
I mean, at least it's not red like yours, so I got that going for me. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna 100% serious answer. I have.
Well, okay.
Because, I mean, you see chicks in the interwebs doing
Drinking it.
and you're like, surely, what the hell, why are they drinking this? Surely it must, like, taste like something, right?
Yeah.
Because at the time, like, you don't drink your own piss, because that's, like, fucking, that's weird.
I feel like it'd be safer.
But then, like, when you see chicks online, they're, like, drinking cum.
if chicks do it online, then I
Chicks Online also made Two Girls, One Cup.
Exactly.
That's how to pick
But
up.
at the time, I was, like, young enough to, like, not really, like, understand that was, like,
Young enough to not understand Two Girls, One Cup, but old enough to come.
yes.
Oh, these are 2 girls.
Well,
one
like,
cup.
I understand 2 girls, 1 cup, and that's, like, fucking weird. But, like, I didn't know that, like, water sports and pissing on each other was, like, a fetish at that point.
Water sports.
On a brief note, have you heard of challenge pissing? Apparently, like, it's a thing that you do where, like, if you can piss like 6 feet straight up in the air and not get wet, you can win stuff.
Excuse me?
What?
Yeah, have you not heard of? You know,
I
heard
don't
of
think my
challenge
piss
pissing?
goes very far. Usually I just try to pee.
I
I
think you
have
piss-
to angle my leg. I have to hover my leg above the bowl because it just dribbles down my leg.
You're not a very hard peer.
No.
I'd classify myself as a hard peer.
How hard? Like on a scale of 1 to 10?
Hardcore.
Like, I reckon, I don't reckon I could go 6 feet up straight up, but I reckon, like, 6 feet horizontal,
Are
yeah.
you standing or are you lying down?
Pissing straight into your mouth.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Lengthways, maybe? I don't know. Maybe just like you could be
You said 6 feet up. Are we
Oh,
talking
6 feet up. Okay,
out
if it's
or
6
6
feet,
feet
it's
up?
6 feet out. It's probably just like fountaining at this point. You can't fucking dance around it, but
Singing in the rain.
singing in the the urea. What were we talking about? Eating cum.
Yes! I can relate to that.
You saw girls online eating cum, and you were like, "That's a good idea."
Well, I just got curious. You know, you gotta, like, they're clearly enjoying it. So,
What do girls like?
so you know, you beat one out, put it into, like, a little cup, and then just go and see what it's like. Would not recommend.
What was it like?
Salt.
Salt?
You gotta eat that pineapple, bro. You gotta drink
Yeah.
2 liters pineapple juice.
That's the way.
Doesn't it get like real tangy? Or like
That tastes sweet.
tastes sweet? Sweet. I
That was a good visual gag right there.
I love pineapple.
Sweet coombs are made of pineapple.
Who am I to disagree? Yeah. Anybody? Speaking of cooming,
Got any more spicy questions?
Always. I've always got good questions. Now, this is a serious question. I want a 100% serious answer from you.
Okay.
do you drink pineapple?
Now, Simi, I know you're a good person. You've been a good friend of mine for years.
Mhm.
Better than some. So, I'm going to ask you, would you ever sleep with your friend's wife?
Sleep with my friend's wife. Now, this is purely hypothetical, right? This has nothing to do with
No. This is
This is hypothetical, nothing to do with you. It's for fun.
Absolutely.
There's the title right there. It says hypothetical questions.
There we go. Hypothetical, nothing to do with real life.
No. This is just.
So this one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yep.
So
this is serious.
this is 100% serious answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a friend, right? He's like in his 20s and he's got a wife.
Mm-hmm.
They got married at like 18. It was weird, but the wife is like
That sounds normal.
on point, like actually on point. And one time she gets like really, really drunk.
Yeah, I don't know this person.
No.
Okay,
No. She gets like absolutely smashed, and she starts coming on me. Like I'm just sitting there.
Is that kind of cheating if she just comes all over you?
And she's like leaning up on me and being like, "Hey, you want to go home and stuff?" And I'm like, "Aren't you married?" And she's like, "Oh, don't worry about that." And then she takes me home and we do it.
That doesn't sound too out of the ordinary. I mean, like that's a really awful thing.
Awful thing to do.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Never in my wildest dreams.
Never do that.
Would I
How's
think-
your wife, Lachlan?
Which is good.
I bet she is. Next question, please.
Yep.
Please.
We're just gonna move on.
I'm gonna move on. Yeah.
I'm running out of questions here. Have you got any questions, Jacob?
How on a scale of 1 to 10, like, would you like, how much money would it take for you to fuck Lachlan's wife?
I'd do it for a crisp high five.
A crisp high five. Down low. I would never do it because it's not in my principles to fuck your friends' wives.
That's
Yeah,
good.
What are you, gay?
At this point.
That's why I don't fuck my wife.
Because
But Jacob has been a good boyfriend to her.
I bought you a Nintendo Switch and everything. And isn't my name on Messenger something like Jacob the Ball?
Yeah, you changed your name on Facebook Messenger to Jake. Wait, you just said your last name again, buddy.
Whoopsies.
Do you care?
If yeah.
Okay, I'll edit it out.
Oh, that's good because I think I said your name at some point.
Now I have to listen to the audio on this fucking episode.
We didn't record. We didn't record where you were reading out your credit card number, right?
No. Only when Simi said our full address. Go there right now.
Yes.
That's my address.
Exactly.
Meet me there.
Oh, that one, yeah. Okay, they could probably have to beep that out as well.
Yeah, I totally did. I beeped out that address because that's where I live. And in case I forgot, please don't go there.
No fan letters. You wouldn't accept fan letters. You wouldn't.
It's not my address.
Oh, it's not your address. Okay. Some
It was
point.
a fake address.
Okay.
You're getting whooshed right now. It was a joke.
It's went over my head.
Ask Simi a question.
Simi,
Ask your guest a question.
how big is your PP?
My PP. 100% serious answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 centimeters.
We talking length, width,
Circumference.
circumference.
Oh yeah. Well, was that flaccid or erect?
Erect.
Erect. Okay.
Oh, that's
It's skinny penis. Okay.
packing heat. Packing heat,
It's
my boy.
It's a skinny needle. It's very long but not very thick.
Ah, yeah.
Cool.
I call him Arya Stark when we go to bed.
They call me the mosquito.
He's a...
The wasp. The red hornet. Oh, yeah. You got any more questions? Like
I'm running out of steam here.
I've asked the question I wanted to ask since the beginning, but how big is Spiderman's penis? Do you reckon? Because he doesn't have much of a bulge here.
Well, going off of the...
Well, it's radioactive cum that we discussed before. So
Yeah.
He's probably got a fucked up Freddy Krueger looking
I want-
penis.
How much cum do you reckon it has to be radioactive for a woman to die? Like, how big are the balls? Like, are we talking like liters or?
Well, it just depends how radioactive the cum is.
Oh, this is
not
true.
the amount.
This
of the
is
cum.
true.
Yeah,
But if it's really radioactive, then just he'd be killing people when he walks past them.
just swinging, just like killing people left, right, and center. Like
That's true. Well, maybe the radiation doesn't. The radiation is triggered by air, so
There we go.
when it's inside,
Done.
it's fine. Well, hang on, it wouldn't have
maybe.
air if it's going from a...
Oh my god!
I mean, there is a little, but
I just got the image of like Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man 3.
So what you're saying, it would be fine if it's activated by air. It would be fine if they did it in a swimming pool.
Well, there's oxygen in the water.
I don't know. Does radiation travel faster under the water?
No. We're saying that activates when it touches air.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen Chernobyl.
No,
I think that's
yes.
I think that's exactly.
I would highly recommend Chernobyl.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen with Spider-Man's radioactive balls. There's going to be people standing on the bridge, like putting their tongues out and like tasting all these radioactive flakes, and just Spider-Man's in the distance, doing his little dance, saving people, all emanating from his radioactive scrotum.
Doing a little dance.
Making
a little love.
Alright, callback time. How much money do you reckon Spider-Man would take for him to get circumcised?
I feel like he already is.
It was directed by a Jewish director, so I...
Is he? Oh, okay.
Is he not?
I don't know. I feel like... Oh, probably. I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you want me to look that up?
Yeah, go for it.
Let me fact check.
Jamie, pull that up.
Jamie, pull it up. Sam Raimi, is he Jewish? Raimi does sound like a Jewish last name.
You got any more fun stories to tell us?
Fun stories. So this one time at band camp.
Ooh. He is Jewish.
There we go.
There you go. Sam Raimi.
Speaking
King
of
of the Jews.
Jewish people and war crimes,
I'm listening.
so this one time when I was in year 12.
Okay. Senior year.
Final year of school.
Mm-hmm.
Not just high school. Unless you count university, which is shush. Get out of here. So in Australia, at least, we have never been. We have to.
It didn't exist.
When we complete our final year of school, we have to do these like special exams that we get. Pretty much everyone has to do final exams, I guess. Thank you for that.
I think in America they call them SATs.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So in the English exam, we have to write like a bunch of essays and like one creative story. So the creative story that I wrote, because I'm big into games.
He's a big gamer.
I'm a big gamer. So because we have to like write something, we have to think of it beforehand. Because if you try and write it during the exam, you're just gonna not do it.
Yeah, you gotta plan your shit out. Even though you don't actually know what the question's gonna be.
You gotta pretty much write your creative
in a way that it can...
And then read the question and like change like 5 sentences in the creative.
Write it in a way that it is easily interchangeable to fit any fucking like story, To
be fair, they made us do the exact same thing with essays to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same, except essays are essays and creative is a story.
Yeah, you can bullshit a lot more with creative.
Sort of. So, I am the least creative story writer known to mankind. So, what I ended up doing was my typical procrastination, leave it to the last minute, write it like 2 days before or whatever, and couldn't come up with anything. So I had the ingenious idea of just blatantly plagiarizing the Fallout 3, like, premise and then just changing like a bunch of words. So like the first 2/3 of the story was just like explaining the Fallout world of like in the year 2077 there were nuclear bombs drop and people went into crypts because I couldn't say vaults. People went into crypts and lived their lives there, and there was this one crypt that never opened.
Wow.
Crypt 101.
No, you copied even the name
I
of the
didn't
vault?
copy the number.
Okay.
But what happened was I did that, and then the last third was like this guy who gets sent out of the crypt, and that year's like HSC theme was like discovery. So his discovery was him going out and discovering the radiated world. Yes. And that's how I blatantly plagiarized Fallout 3 for my HSC creative.
So you went the literal term of discovery instead of the more self-discovery route that they really wanted you to go down.
Yeah. I remember like we couldn't go too bonkers with our creative writing. Like they told us not to. They're like you can't do anything that's not set outside of your own experience. So you can't do anything set outside of Australia. And I was like,
it's creative writing.
Exactly. So like my story, which was supposed to be a little bit more out there, ended up just being about a guy going stargazing and going, wow, this is my place in the world. It was real just airy, fairy, borderline poetry. Not stroking my ego, but it was just such a big wank.
See, my 200 IQ thinking was that I was really hoping that the sort of like people who are in their 60s don't play video games.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't know the Fallout like thing.
Who is Vault Boy? Like, who are the Reapers?
I mean, there could be like this 20-year-old doing the HSC marking and marks mine, and that's like, rest in peace, I'm dead.
Yeah.
But
ooh, when did you do the HSC?
2016.
2016, that's right.
Discovery was also one of our themes as well, but oh my god, do any of you did any of you hear about the mango story?
No.
The mango story, one of the poems in one of the HSC papers was about mangoes.
Okay.
Well, again, I'm gonna delve into some taboo topics again because like there's the theme was discovery, and like they had some short answer questions, and it was like, here's some texts. One of them was a poem about soccer. Another was a poem about mangoes. No one understood what the fucking mango poem was about. The other one was, I can't remember. It was like a short story. And we people because there's a Facebook group on Facebook where all the HSC
Facebook group on Facebook.
Yes, like who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? And it's
the HSC discussion group.
Yes, the HSC discussion group.
We had one for our
we had
year
one
as
of
well.
ours, and there was some quality memes.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I believe one of them was that like this was prearranged like months before. Was that everyone had to write the word kettle sea salt chips into their creative. I pulled it off. So did a lot of other people apparently.
I did not do that.
As I sat in the crypt and ate ate my chips, boiled the kettle, I walked outside. But yeah, like mangoes was we tried to bullshit like an answer about what the mangoes, like the mango story was about. There was one of the lines we all made fun of was like, listen to the taste of mangoes. And everyone was making fun of the mango poem after
that sounds disgusting.
afterwards, and something about boys slapping water. It was just like real vague. Then someone who knew the author was witnessing the HSC discussion group, and thought that the HSC students were being racist because one of the memes was the author behind mangoes, and it had like a chimpanzee at a typewriter.
Mm-hmm.
And the author turns out, we had no idea who the author was. The author turns out was
African American?
ethnic. I'll just ethnic.
Ethnic.
Not of the pale persuasion.
I see.
A person of
A
colour.
person of colour. And so like it even got into 7 News at some point.
Oh my
It was
god.
like racist HSC students make fun of person
Oh,
of colour.
no.
And it turns out that we found out, like, because everyone turned around and said, it's NASA, right? The people who organise the NESA, something like that.
I don't know.
The
I
Loch
think-
Ness Monster? Nessie?
Nessie. You name my child after
I
the
thought it
Loch
was
Ness
just like
Monster.
the Board of Studies.
Board of Studies, whatever. Like they picked it because they thought it sounded like, oh, she's discovering the wonderful taste of mangoes. Turns out it was one big allegory for sexual assault, and so everyone was like, what the fuck? It was such a clusterfuck of a HSC paper and like needless controversy. So yeah, it's
Very interesting.
got way too wild.
Went off the rails.
It went off the rails.
My question is, what did the taste of mango sound like?
I'd imagine like a squish.
Like if you spat
Very
on the
nice.
microphone.
Very nice.
Right.
Like a slurp of water.
Speaking of English, now you may remember that from earlier in this podcast that I am not, in fact, from Australia originally.
Finnish.
I am a Finnish man. So I came to this country in like year 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like not a child when I came here.
Of
So
course.
so in like year 10 or something, I'd been here for like a year or less, something of that matter. We get put into a English test, and the test is like unseen poems. You've never seen them before. You got to write, analyze the poem, whatever.
Okay.
The poem was called Rainbow Lorikeets,
Right.
and there was a bunch of stuff about lorikeets, and I'm like, what the fuck is a lorikeet? Because I'm not from Australia, and I've never heard of it. Like, what the hell is a lorikeet? So I put my hand up and I asked the teacher.
It's a bird.
I'm like, what is a lorikeet, dude? Like, hello? Can I get like a little hint here? And she's like, are you trying to cheat? Like, hello, I can't give you the answer. And I'm like, what?
It just turned out that was one of the questions. What is a lorikeet?
And like, she sounded like offended, like as if I was actually like trying to ask her for answers. I'm like, no, I don't know what a lorikeet is. She never gave me the answer, so I just couldn't analyze the poem. Like, I don't know, is lorikeet like a fucking rainbow or some shit? Turns out it's a bird.
Crazy.
Very beautiful bird.
Tell me more about this bird.
I'm wearing a bird shirt. Alright, leave me alone.
Alright, I'm just going to go back to Jacob's previous story.
Which one?
About about what mangoes.
What mangoes taste like? Yes.
Yeah, wasn't it?
What mango taste sounds
Oh,
like?
yeah. Listen to the taste was the line.
Listen to the taste. Does it sound like this?
Now, ladies, remember.
That's how you eat a mango. Yeah, like I don't know. I'd have to ask the author, but she has been blocked on Twitter.
Oh shit! Well,
Wow, that's a lot of good stories today
a lot of good stories.
about birds, animal abuse. Not a whole lot of Valentine's Day related stuff.
What are you talking
Speaking of
about?
Valentine's Day, a lot of
What a segue.
a lot of people on Valentine's Day are after that puss.
Of course.
Speaking of puss,
Oh no.
Pussy Cats, the 2019 film Cats.
Oh no. No.
Bring it all the way back.
Okay,
We're back in the movies, boys.
Jacob, what did you think of the film Cats from 2019?
I feel like it's the equivalent of Spider-Man's radioactive balls. So like I didn't have to see it, but now I've already got terminal cancer.
Simi, what did you think of the 2019 film Cats?
So, I honestly feel like my explanation is better after you explain what you told me earlier about the
Okay.
blurb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'll leave you to interject your opinions first.
I got out all of my frustrations in the car driving here, and I don't know if I can relay it as well as I did, because I was like borderline yelling. I was so angry. Oh, it's fucking terrible. Oh my god. If you want my exact quote, I believe I said, "There's no fucking story, there's no characters." And he said, "Yeah, there's no story, there's a premise." And I said, "Yes. The entire story is just basically the blurb that's written on the back of the case. Nothing happens outside of the basic premise."
It's the shortest Wikipedia
Yeah.
article. Like,
Are we? Do we want to spoil things
spoiler
for
go,
Jacob?
spoiler
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm
Dude,
not going to watch this
we
movie.
never do spoilers on the show, but this one time I will allow it. Don't go fucking see this. Don't give it money. It's projected to lose a shitload of money. I think it's left cinemas now, so I think it has lost a shitload of money.
So yeah, I did see another shitty film, Dr. Dolittle, but I don't think it has anything anywhere near the cringe.
I don't think it ain't got nothing on Cats. I have not seen it, so of course I can't compare, but I highly
See,
doubt.
The thing is, you've gained a new trigger word. It's like as if when I say Spider-Man, you just like ejaculate.
Yeah.
When I say Jellicle Cats, he has like Vietnam flashbacks.
It is, yeah. Jellicle is not even a word. I checked, because I was like, does it actually have a fucking meaning? I looked it up. It doesn't mean anything, but they're the Jellicle Cats. They keep saying Jellicle, Jellicle, Jellicle. We're going to the Jellicle Ball. They sing the Jellicle Cats song, I think, 4 times throughout the movie. They're Jellicle Cats.
Jelly cool.
Jellicle.
Jelly cool. Like,
Like, even just the word, it just sounds horrible. I don't like it. Jellicle.
I believe it's meant to be like angelical.
Yeah,
but
he dropped that revelation on me, because, as far as we can tell,
they're from hell. They're not
as
angels.
far as we can tell, the ending of the movie is one lucky cat gets to fucking die and ascend to heaven. So the plot of the movie is that, yeah, we're going full spoilers here. The plot of the movie is that all these fucking cats, they, as far as I can tell, live in the real world, because they run around and play with like cutlery and shit in people's houses. These are cats that are like street cats. That once a year they hold a ball, and each cat gets to perform, and one lucky cat gets to prove that it is like worthy to like ascend. And the whole movie, my understanding was that like, because they're in the slums, they get to go to like the higher up into the city, like the expensive area, and they get to start a new life as a rich, as a cat, like a well-off cat. the ending of the movie, the lucky cat, lucky in inverted commas, that gets to ascend, hops into a fucking hot air balloon because it wins the Jellicle Ball, and it flies up into the fucking clouds. It like ascends to fucking heaven. So I don't understand. Was that the story, Simmy? Explain.
I believe that pretty much was the story. So my views on the matter are that it's more of a theatre performance than a movie. It's more like a musical theatre where there's like people walking around and like only one character really shines per song and whatever.
I was gonna say.
And then what they did was they took that theatre movie or theatre and then put absolutely horrendous animation / CGI.
Yes.
The story wasn't that good to begin with, and then released it as a movie.
See, I would disagree with Simmy here because I would say that if this is what the musical is in like theatre, then it fucking sucks because musical
It's popular, I guess.
theatre still usually tells a fucking story.
I mean, you can tell a pretty paper-thin story sometimes. It just depends on what the elements are.
Like,
the elements
ballet
just set
is
us up.
technically a story, but ballet is like, you know...
Ballet tells way more of a fucking story than this movie. This is the structure of the movie, Jacob. A cat appears. It sings a song about itself, who it is. It basically introduces itself as a character. Then once that song ends, another cat shows up and sings a song about itself and what it is. And that's every single song in the movie is just a new cat introducing itself.
Except when they sing songs that they've already sung once before.
Yeah, when they recap and sing Jellicle Cats for the 15th fucking time.
Or like, the spoilers, the one who actually wins the getting into heaven. She sings her thing like 4 times.
Yeah, well, that's because that's the song that made the fucking play popular in the first place. It's the only song I'd ever heard out of this movie before because it's...
Maybe the whole movie... Maybe we're not giving enough credit. Because like you said, it's about poor cats moving up to the rich.
Well, I don't think it is. And all I can tell now is that it fucking died and went to heaven.
It dies of like
Not being able
to breathe in like the upper stratosphere.
Yeah. Or that, or the balloon just pops and
Exactly.
it just falls to Earth.
And there's so many big names in it as well.
Did Jason Derulo at any point, before he started singing, say Jason Derulo? Or...
No, that's why it's 0 out of 10. The worst part is it's like r/confusing boners the whole time because they've like got tits, but they're like not tits.
The pitch meeting for cats.
They're just furry lumps.
The worst part was like the fucking the cockroaches in one of the scenes.
Oh,
they were like actually like
face cockroaches.
I saw that on Twitter,
and they like actually were like, what is the
humanoid?
They're like humanoid and like wearing like lingerie. It was like really weird.
It was fucking disgusting. And then Rebel Wilson's fat piece of shit cat keeps picking them up and fucking eating them as they were dancing and singing.
Just the name Rebel Wilson in a comedy just seems to like kind of deter me a little bit.
I mean, I
She
wouldn't call it
wasn't
a comedy.
James Corden was also there, and yeah, his whole character is that I like to eat a lot of food. I'm a fucking fat cat. Look at me, eat cat. I mean, food, not cat.
I think I'm gonna drop the C-bomb there for a second.
Idris Elba is in it. Fucking Taylor Swift is in
Isn't he
it.
the bad guy?
He is the bad guy, and he's a weird muscular cat. He's got like furry muscles. It's freaky. It's a movie made for no one because regular people are horrified by it. Furries don't like it because they've got humanoid fucking faces. The one characteristic that furries.
And it's too off-putting because, like, you know, there are people who are into, like, bunny ears and cat ears. It's it's even too extreme for them. It's like...
Like, I partially blame the animation is, like, because they're so weird because the animation, but the animation style that they went for is just trash anyway.
Yeah.
Like, Lachlan didn't notice it until someone pointed it out for him.
Yeah, my roommate that I went to see it with,
You know how because they're on green screens, they're not actually on ground.
Yeah.
So they green screen out the ground, so there's like slightly hovering over the top of the
really
ground.
Floaty.
Yeah.
They don't actually like step on the ground.
Yeah, there was a whole dance scene with like a bunch of them on screen, and Sean, my roommate, leans over and he's like, "Look at their fucking feet. None of them are standing on the ground."
It's like where they call it compositing, so really shit compositing.
Yeah. They're all just floating around and running around.
And I believe you pointed out that we saw the fixed fixed version.
Yes,
Air
they
quotes.
actually re-released this movie a couple of weeks after it came out because it was unfinished upon release.
Apparently.
So, and I've seen an example of it. Judi Dench's character, who looks freaky as fuck, by the way, really old. It's got Judi Dench doing her sweet, look at me, I'm Judi Dench, I'm a lovable old lady. She's doing her sweet little smiley face, but on this fucking monstrosity of a cat. I was terrified. But they did not finish the CGI on her in some areas. So there's a couple of scenes where she has a human hand. They forgot to CGI her hand. So she's got one human hand and one paw.
How do you make that mistake, though?
I don't know. In a movie, cost over $100 million? And it's got unfinished CGI. Another thing is Ian McKellen's cat wears a scarf. And a couple of times Sean pointed out to me that his arm clipped through the scarf as he's doing things. So he would lift up his arm and the scarf would just still be there. So he'd go like straight through.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, now that was still in the fixed version. I didn't see Judi Dench's hand, so I think they fixed that in what we saw. But still fucked.
What a waste of a good cast.
I know.
Like,
So many huge actors, and I'm like, how are you in this?
all it just needed was Hugh Jackman to embarrass himself as well. It's like,
Oh no. How about Doolittle? How was Doolittle? Here it was terrible. as well.
Nowhere near as like r/confusing boner. But like, think of like a kids movie made by people who don't have kids, thinking this is what kids like. Because the entire time I was in the theater with mostly families, the only people who were laughing was like awkward, embarrassed chuckles from adults. The kids were not liking it at all.
I hear a bunch of the animals like they keep making references
I'm
to
gonna
movies.
segue to that in just a moment.
Awful, cringy, embarrassing. It's like it's like they're like they don't care. It's a kids movie, and weird. It's weird that it's Robert Downey Jr.'s like very next movie after Endgame because apparently it's Welsh. Puts on this very thick accent and he's really embarrassing.
Yeah, I heard you can't understand a word he says.
No,
which is odd for a kids movie.
And he talks at a really low level, so you can't really hear his delivery. He's kind of like he talks like
Ew.
he talks like kind of like
He barks like a dog.
barks. Yes, he does bark like a dog at some point when he's talking to the animals.
Of course he does.
But yeah, no, I'd watch the Eddie Murphy one over this. Doolittle, I would. But yeah, not much to talk about. It's just cringy. There is a part where a dragon do we spoilers?
Go for it.
Dragon gets fisted.
Excuse me? Are we back in the Queen's Corgi territory again?
Was there there was. There was.
Yeah, they put suppositories up the fucking dog's ass.
Well, Robert Downey Jr. does fist a dragon at some point to pull out like a cloggage.
Excuse me?
And there's a very loud fart noise. Ha ha tee hee. He's got his hand up this dragon's ass and it's going, oh my! Like it's a movie that feels like it was made in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of good things that came out in 2001. I forgot what year that was.
Quick, Simi, what was your segue?
So my segue was, speaking of awkward, cringy stuff that was made for kids that adults was like actually laughing at, the kids weren't the Queen's Corgi.
We already discussed that.
We've already discussed
You're late
this.
to the party. That was our Christmas special.
Oh no.
What was I was gonna bring something up with cats again, but I can't remember what it was.
That cats, when you watched it, made you want to leave the cat in the car and die of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Was it the fact that you went and watched Cats and the cinema was full?
Yes! Thank you.
What?
Thank you. That's exactly, because I guess that's another thing I brought up earlier in the car. So Simi's had this conversation already. Yeah, that cinema was nearly full when I went to see it. All adults, I think there was one pair of kids that were there who actually were enjoying the movie. I was shocked. There was a young girl. She got really happy when they chose the cat at the end and she ascends to heaven. She was like, "Aww." And I leaned over to Sean and I said, "Fuck you." But yeah, packed full of people, and they all despised it. They all fucking hated it. It was hilarious.
I thought you were going to say they all clapped.
No.
Because that's
Standing ovation.
No, people constantly throughout the movie were going, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Like, they kept doing a thing, like the song starts to fade out, and like it's coming to its natural end, and then there'd be like 10 seconds where they've stopped, and they're looking at each other, and then they break back into song, and every time they did that, people would be like, no! Oh my god! And people were going, oh my god, when does this movie end? People groaning every time they started singing. It was wonderful. That was my favorite part. Especially my roommate Sean that I was with. He was just slowly going insane as the movie progressed.
This is why, not necessarily for us, but like for just average moviegoers, Rotten Tomatoes is somewhat useful. So
Rotten Tomatoes gives just every movie a 0%. So you're like, right, I'll avoid that one.
wasn't the audience score for Cats on Rotten Tomatoes something like 40 or?
When I looked, like, I swear the critic review on Rotten Tomatoes was like 49.
Yeah, something like that.
And the audience review was like 20.
Yeah.
Now, the Queen's Corgi has a 0%.
However, it doesn't make it onto the list because it needs 16 verified reviews and it's only got 15.
Queen's Corgi?
Yep.
Ooh, I'm gonna fact check that.
Fact checking time.
It was something along the lines of that. Because there's a Wikipedia article of movies with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's like there's a minimum requirement of critics before it gets put on the list.
Fair, I guess. All right, we're going to go with Queen's Corgi.
I take it you'd want to watch a Queen's Corgi over.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Even though I despised it, it's got 19.
19?
19 reviews gave it 0%. Critics 34% from 64 users. All right, let's get Cats going. See what they got.
So, funny story about Cats
Okay.
is when I went and watched
Did you jerk one of those off too?
We went to go see Cat with him.
I too was going slowly insane throughout the movie. Like, there was multiple points where I just laughed. Not because the movie was funny.
Oh, yeah.
But because of just, in my situation, something snapped and I'd like laugh for like a solid 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Of like mental breakdown.
This movie sounds like the cabin from Evil Dead. Like you're just sitting there and like everything's just crazy. Then you just start laughing.
But
The
the
lamp
best
starts
part, the best part
The cat stuff.
is, I went and watched Cats with a friend of mine.
Yes.
A friend of mine said, "Oh, do you want to go watch a movie today?" And I was like, "Oh, what's on?" There's like the Gentleman, the like Jumanji, but I haven't seen the first one yet. Mm-hmm. I have now. Don't worry about it. But then I was like, you know what? As a joke, let's go see Cats. I want to see how bad it is. He tries for like hours to get me to watch anything else, but
This
I'm
is
like,
Will.
yes, this
Of
is
course it's
Will. And so we end up going to watch Cats. At this point, like taking a little tangent here, my girlfriend has been in another state for like 2 months. In the background, Will and my girlfriend were trying to do a surprise where she comes, like, because she's been telling me that she was going to come on like a Friday. This was like the Tuesday before.
So she's going to show up to the movies.
She's going to show up to the movies like a couple days before and like surprise me, be like, surprise, I'm here early. At this point, we'd already bought tickets for Cats.
So she has to show up at Cat.
So she has to show up, and instead of like watching like an actual movie, I haven't seen my girlfriend in like a couple months, and the first thing that we do is we go watch Cats.
And I haven't seen her for a couple months after that as well.
And she dressed up as a cat, and you went to town.
Absolutely.
Meow.
I just want to.
I dressed up as a dog, and she jerked me off. So.
Oh, that was a sexual awakening, Heather. Well, I just want to provide closure to everyone. Rotten Tomatoes gave Cats a 20%, and audiences gave it 53%.
That's so surprising.
Critics' consensus: despite its formidable cast, this Cats adaptation is a clawful mistake that will leave most viewers begging to be put out of their meowsery.
That was a good review right there.
Thanks, Rotten Tomatoes.
There's no other way to put it.
That review was more entertaining than the movie.
Yep.
There's some solid ones. Like, you scroll down because there's a few good ones, like a few good cat puns.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what we got. Okay. The movie Cats is, forgive the critical jargon, pretty good! Richard Brody from The New Yorker. Excuse me? What the fuck?
Maybe Richard Brody just owns like thousands of cats and he's just like, oh, this movie spoke to me on some sort of level.
r/confused bone.
r/.
I don't think Rotten Tomatoes is going to give us what we're after, but yes, I have seen some good Cats reviews.
Catastrophe.
Oh, here's a good audience review. It's far more enjoyable watching a cat lick its own anal orifice, none of whom even attempt such self-indulgent grooming.
Does that happen? Does someone lick their own asshole in the movie?
Not
They
not
do
asshole,
lick their
they,
arms
They
and
lick
shit.
their arms, but
It's still very uncomfortable.
It would be.
it's just so fucking embarrassing. Just even see, I feel like even the stage play would be not the musical would be fucking embarrassing because they're fucking names. They're names.
Yes.
What?
Oh, what's
What
the
are the
fucking
names?
wonderful wizard man or whatever? I don't remember his name,
Gennett?
but they kept singing it like every 5
Yeah.
seconds. They'd say his name.
There's Mungo Jerry.
Oh, there's the two twins that I don't just get the cats.
I've got Rotten Tomatoes right here. Idris Elba's named McCavity. Jason Derulo's Rum Tum Tugger. James Corden is Busterford Jones. It's
Buster Rhymes.
what else? Come on, give us. Taylor Swift is Bomb Ballerina. Rebel Wilson's Jenny Anydots. And then this is the worst one. Francesca Hayward. It's Victoria.
What a stupid
What a
name.
stupid fucking name.
Gross.
Growl Tiger, Mr. Mistopheles. There it is.
That's the one. Wonderful
the
Mr.
wonderful Mr. Mistopheles.
Wonderful wizard Mr. Mistopheles.
I feel like these are names that no one gives their cats.
Griddlebone, Skimbleshanks. No. See, so Victoria is the name her owners gave her. But then cats have 3 names.
Yes.
The names their owners gave them, the names they choose, and then their raw primal name that they...
They have to
they just
meditate
feel
for 3 months to find out.
Lisa
Like in one of the songs, they go into the lore of cats, where when a cat is sitting by a windowsill, looking through windows into the depths, that's what they're thinking about. They're thinking about what their raw primal name is, and I'm ashamed about the fact that I even remember that.
Yeah, you watched them all
We're
recently.
gonna start talking about cats lore for the next 30 minutes.
So welcome to the Cats podcast.
Yeah. The Discats podcast.
Did they make any embarrassing cat piss jokes? Cats sprayed piss everywhere or
That's what the whole movie was. They were just spraying piss everywhere.
walking in circles.
That's what the villain
It's all just a big
does.
piss take.
He keeps going into their territory and spraying piss over the top of theirs.
There was a villain in that movie. I just remembered that.
Yeah.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, muscular Idris Elba.
Well,
He kidnap some cats.
He
Put
can
them
do
on
legitimate magic. He can just fucking obliterate. He banishes them to the Shadow Realm.
Wow. Actually, speaking of really bad animal movies, pet movies, what's the worst dog movie? Because that's probably the worst cat movie. Because there aren't many cat.
Is it The Queen's Corgi?
Ooh, no, not even.
No?
I've seen
Alright,
one.
what do you got?
Cats vs. Dogs 2.
Yeah.
Oh, Cats and Dogs 2, The Revenge of Kitty Galore. Yeah, it's not good.
What an awful movie.
I love the first movie. It's got Jeff Goldblum. Tobey Maguire plays the dog. I think Alec Baldwin's in it.
Yeah, he plays one of the dogs. Toby Maguire's in. A lot of big names for kind of really twisted sort of movie. Embarrassing sort of movie. I used to watch it all the time because I like dogs and I like Jeff Goldblum because he was in Jurassic Park. And that was it. That's all I watched it
Well,
for.
what have you got for us? What are your bad dog movies?
I was going to say that, but I was thinking of another one. I actually... Kick Me or Kill Me. I don't like Red Dog.
I knew he was going to say
I
it.
don't like Red Dog.
I've never seen it.
I think it's very, very good.
It's good in parts. And it's not the worst dog movie, but everyone's like, if you watch Red Dog, it's so sad.
It is so sad. I cry every fucking time I watch it.
I liked Marley and Me a little bit better than
I haven't seen Marley and Me.
Marley and Me is cute.
See, I avoid sad dog movies. As soon as someone says it's a sad dog movie, you know.
Like John Wick.
That's
I
the
don't know
best
if
dog
that's a
movie.
sad dog movie.
It is.
It's
I cried.
a movie that has a sad dog scene, but it's not a sad dog movie.
I was going to say, well, Marley and Me isn't really even about the dog.
But it's
that's a good thing.
As soon as someone says it's a sad dog movie, spoilers about every single one of the movies we just mentioned, the dog's obviously going to fucking die, and I go, oh, it's just emotional manipulation, I'm not going to bother watching it. It's the same every time. If you tell me it's sad...
of dogs, Cats has a dog in it.
Does it?
In the background.
Oh, I was really curious to see, but yeah, it's
Was it
just
a
on
guy-
the other side of a door. They never show it.
Oh, I was gonna
It's like
say,
barking because cats are afraid of dogs or whatever.
Yeah, I was really hoping a dude would run in going, "Bah, bah, bah!"
this dog with a human face.
Yeah. What animals are in this? So there's cats, mice, and cockroaches. Yeah. Anything else?
I can't think of
Do the
anything
mice
else.
have face?
Yeah, they're humans
Yeah,
as well.
they're like dancing and stuff. It's
Yeah, and
weird.
then someone eats them, I think. Well, just an update for you audience members. Cats is legitimately the worst film I have ever seen. Like, I cannot tell you a worse movie. Like, I've seen movies far more incompetently made.
Yes.
Like,
there's horrible movies that are like garbage to. Like, me and Lachlan have made horrible movies on YouTube.
Yes.
But,
Guilty as well.
there's still, like, more... You don't want to gouge your eyes out after you watch that.
There's movies that are fucking painfully, like low-budget fucking shark movies. That is the bottom of the barrel. I don't know if you guys have ever watched any low-budget shark movies, like Jurassic Shark.
The thing is, there's like
Exorcist.
a level of like self-awareness with those movies. It's like they're not like completely.
Well, they are cynical, like cash grab sort of things.
It's not like...
They're usually very, very boring. Have an awful script. Very little happens, but I feel like they still had more going on in this movie. It was hell. I hesitate to even call it a movie.
I was just imagining like
I'm pretty sure that like can be used as like a form of torture.
Yeah.
It was an hour and a half long music video. Because
Because
none of the songs actually advance the story. There's no story to advance. It's just a bunch of cats sing. McCavity makes them disappear as soon as they finish singing. And then at the end, Judi Dench says, "You're a jellicle cat," and one fucking dies and goes to heaven. And they roll credits.
All good dogs go to heaven. Well,
Now that is a sad movie.
I've never
All
watched.
dogs go to heaven. I see.
What's it
I don't know if
I've watched that.
I've only seen All Dogs Go to Heaven.
That's a good
too.
film. There's a second one?
Yeah.
What you
yeah.
know?
I used to go to a before and after school care thing, because my parents, when I was younger, my parents would like, I don't know, there was like no bus in my area or something, so they would like drive me to the before and after school care. They take you to school and shit. And they had one. They had They had that movie. They had All Dogs Go to Heaven too. So that's why I've seen it. It's the only reason.
I mean, the only reason I saw the original one was because we had the DVD at home, and like I was really young at the time. I wouldn't remember the plot anymore.
Does every single dog at the end of the movie die and go to heaven?
What's that Kevin Spacey movie? The one where is it Kevin Spacey?
Where he's a cat?
He's a cat. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's called 9 Lives in America, but here it's even worse. It's called Mr. Fuzzy Pants.
Right. Okay. Is that the worst cat movie ever?
Oh no, Cats is the worst cat movie ever made. I don't know. I don't really know any bad dog movies.
Snow Dogs.
Speaking of bad dog movies, The Room.
I don't know if that's a bad dog movie.
It's got a dog in it.
Oh, hi, doggy.
A very
Exactly.
a very sad dog scene.
Now this is a topic that we were supposed to discuss
Months ago.
a year and 1 month ago, or a year and 2 months ago. This is February now, yeah. A year and 2 months ago, when we all did a trip down to Sydney to go see The Room in cinemas with Mark himself, the actor, Greg Sestero, up on stage. Wonderful experience,
It
boys.
was. I'm glad I dipped my toe in and said yes. I've done that. I can cross it off the list.
We actually... So that was Friday or whatever, as we went and saw that. On Thursday, we actually went and saw... To the same cinema and saw Greg Sestero the day before.
Yes, this is
to
before
watch
you-
his new release.
Yeah, you hadn't showed up yet, Jacob. You showed up just for The Room.
You can just sit over there quietly in the corner. For the
Welcome back to the Lost Gamers podcast.
Shunned.
So we went and watched Best Friends Volume 2, I believe.
Volume 2, yes.
So that was, like, technically pre-release, like, opening night.
Yeah,
they opened it in Sydney for some reason.
Yes, Greg Sestero came, did a Q&A after the movie, and did a photo opportunity and signings with everybody, which is very cool.
So me and Lachlan have photos with Greg Sestero.
That's right.
I've got my room Blu-ray signed by Greg Sestero.
You do. Very exciting. I hadn't received mine yet. I ordered it from Tommy Wiseau's website, and it took like a year to arrive.
That's a funny story in itself.
What a story, Mark.
Speaking of which, there it is.
Oh yeah, here it is. It's right here.
Visual gag. Let me just point it in.
Spoons. Yes.
Yeah, the next night, Jacob arrived. He interrupted Simi and I watching Akira for the first time. We had to stop it halfway through.
Were you watching Akira or were you playing like games on YouTube?
Oh no, Caleb, my old roommate.
We were watching Akira. Caleb came and
dismantled that.
dismantled that. At which point we then started watching. We watched the YouTube Rewind.
No, that was when Jacob.
Okay, so no, never mind. We went on YouTube and just started watching like random like clickbait. Answer these 20 questions and we'll figure out how old you are, or like how tall you'll grow based on these questions.
Yeah, those like kids quiz videos. And then Jacob showed up and we all watched YouTube Rewind 2018 together. This is how long ago this was.
You know, the most I almost said downvoted, disliked
video on YouTube.
We watched that all together. That was good times.
Can you believe Simi watched the 2019 one without us?
I know. I haven't even watched it.
I still haven't watched it either. Still waiting.
Alright, we're doing it live on the podcast.
Alright, let's get ready. I'll grab the popcorn. Grab the drinks. Apparently it's just a glorified like Watch Mojo list, from what I hear. Like it's
Pretty
just,
much.
Yeah.
Wow.
But speaking of 2018, I still haven't finished Akira. I've only watched the first half of it.
I watched it. You've never seen it, have you, Jacob?
No.
It's really good. It's really good. Although, not what I expected. It made me, like, physically ill.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it very adult for an anime?
Yeah, it's rated M. But it is, like, some of the most gross and gory shit I've seen.
I guess it's because it's animated rather than real people.
I've got MA and R-rated animated movies.
I guess.
But it's a lot. The first half, Simi probably doesn't understand because it's fairly straightforward. But the second half, it becomes like, you're a fan of body horror, Jacob.
I love body
It's got
horror.
some of the grossest body horror I've ever seen. Like I was like wincing. I was just like, this is striking me the wrong way. This is getting really fucking disgusting to watch.
I love me some good body horror, and I'm kind of curious now. I thought it was just people riding bikes.
It's not a horror movie, but
Well, no.
There's
the
just
visuals,
a very gruesome scene. I don't know.
yeah.
I haven't seen it.
The sort of the final scenes, it gets real gross.
Yeah, well,
Would recommend.
I would recommend. I might have to.
I know you're an absolute hater of anything to do with Japanese anime.
Okay. I was gonna say I like the Last Airbender. That's Korean.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it's
Dude, Korra in the House is my favorite anime.
The Legend of Korra in the House.
Korra in the house. Thanos in the house. I don't hate anime. I did like Spirited Away. I like what's his name? Is his name Miyazaki?
Miyazaki, yeah. All
Yeah.
the
So Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli. Yeah.
You said that in sync. That was cute.
I think I just hate children's television shows that are anime. I don't know why. I think it's because when everyone's like, watch Dragon Ball Z, and I watch Dragon Ball Z, and it's just people shouting. I was like, I don't fucking like
That's
this
a
at
very
all.
bad example.
I've never seen Dragon Ball Z.
If you try and binge Dragon Ball, it's not great because it's a shonen thing. That means like fight scenes and stuff, because pretty much that's what it is. So a single fight can take like 10 episodes, and they'll spend like 2 episodes screaming and charging up their powers or whatever.
See, maybe
it's very slow.
Maybe that's why I wasn't too keen on it. But I was just like,
if you want to get into something, maybe try like a bit of a shorter series rather than like a 100-episode long.
for kids or
Not for kids, of course. Like,
I thought you were asking if there was 4 kids in it. Because you're only going to watch it if there was 4 kids.
those 4 kids.
isn't that like a movie company?
4 kids?
4 kids.
4
Is
kids.
it like 2 kids?
It's a channel, ABC, 4 kids.
I don't know. I'm struggling here.
YouTube for kids.
I remember seeing it on like a Pokemon movie at some point, like a little flashback.
4 kids sounds like
But not like you know how in like pre-things it's like 20th century or whatever. One of them was like 4 kids or something.
Yeah, is his logo a picture of Simi's foreskin?
Yeah.
$10,000 lying next to it?
It sounds like a really bad like Justin Roiland like improv. Just like it's 2 brothers in Mexican army. You know that episode of Rick and Morty? It's 4 kids.
Wow.
It's some anime. But I should get into some anime, I guess. Like, what would you recommend?
Probably like the global starting point that everyone says is the best anime to start with would be Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's a bit on the longer side of sort of like 60 episodes, 20-minute episodes, not hour. So you can probably binge that in a week if you want to really commit. But
Sure.
You familiar with this?
I know the name. Yeah, I always think it was like... I always get confused with that and Full Metal Jacket.
It's a remake of Full Metal Alchemist. Because I think they had the same problem as Game of Thrones, where they overtook where the manga was up to and had to make their own like ending and made it fucking terrible. So they went, fuck it, and they made Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is the same thing, but with the actual ending once it was released, and everyone said it was way better.
Yeah, everyone agreed that the second one is way better. But if you've seen the first one, then the second one is a bit because the first third is just the same, exact same as the original series.
Yeah. What about Jojo Rabbit?
I haven't seen JoJo's. Everyone keeps talking about it, but the issue is that that's another shonen, so it's like hundreds of episodes and it's really long to get through.
Cowboy Bebop's a popular one.
Cowboy
Bebop.
I
did actually watch that.
I've seen it.
Seen it yet.
It's
date night. Cowboy Bebop.
I really, really enjoyed Cowboy Bebop, but it took till the second half to really draw me in. Like, I understand that it's absolutely amazing, but the first half, I just didn't get it for some reason. But I kept slogging through it, like, an episode or so every a week or so, like, really slow.
Yeah.
And then once I got to the second half, I realized, oh, this is good. This is what it is.
Kicks into gear.
And, then it becomes... The final maybe quarter or so is very emotion heavy, let's put it that way. And
just like this podcast.
Yeah, Valentine's Day, am I right?
I think the biggest emotion that we've gotten out of this podcast is probably disgust.
Yeah, it's been
wrong.
It's not really the vibe that you get from a Valentine's Day special easily.
No, those are usually bullet vibrators.
Tasteless vibrator jokes, talking about body horror, animal abuse. Man, we're fucking
welcome to
horny
the
to the Valentine's Day post.
Something tells me I'm never going to be on this podcast again.
Hey, if you got more stories like you had today, you're welcome.
If you can put more dogs in suitcases, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, just go home, jerk off your cat again. Or no, jerk off your cat this time.
I'll jerk off onto the cat. Be like that.
All right, Shane Dawson.
While the house is on fire with meth in the ceiling.
Now we're talking.
Well, are we done for this episode? Any closing thoughts?
No more questions? No, I
mean, give our wrap up on The Room. It was a good experience.
Good experience. If
you hadn't seen the movie before then, had you?
Seen clips, but I hadn't seen the movie.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
We didn't know that, and we absolutely roasted you afterwards.
Yeah, so you're like, what the hell's wrong with you? You wouldn't have heard a single word of the movie. Because the experience in the cinema is everyone gets given a list of things to shout and scream at and throw spoons at.
So pretty much every 5 seconds, something occurs on screen that everyone will shout.
Everyone's just going, ah! like yelling.
When people if they leave the door slightly open, everyone in the cinema is screaming out, "Close the fucking door!" If there's a spoon on the screen at any point,
so
everyone is throwing spoons. Plastic. They're meant to be plastic spoons, but family eco-friendly, whatever.
Family-friendly spoons.
So they're like wooden spoons at our local cinema.
Like baking spoons.
So how was your experience, Jacob, having never seen it?
Look, I'd already seen the majority of the clips online, so I could make out. I could just piece it together now. I could piece it together with
like memes
interjected with people hissing and calling out whore to Lisa, just like what a bitch. She does him dirty. It's
an excellent movie. If you've never seen The Room, well, watch it, and then once you've watched it,
it's bad movie 101.
Yeah.
Then you move on to Birdemic.
It's so bad, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Birdemic, Troll 2.
Food Fight.
Food Fight, yeah.
Food Fight. Jurassic Shark.
Sharknado.
Cats.
No! So yeah, if you've never seen it, watch it. I think Tommy Wiseau has actually uploaded it onto YouTube now. It's free for everyone to watch.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah, so you can watch it.
It's getting that AdSense.
Right now.
Because we had to break the rules to gain a copy of it. Originally, me and Lachlan watched a Yarhar Dibbledy version of the of the film.
But now we both have We've gone to the cinemas twice to see it, and we both
twice or 3 times.
Twice.
Because I believe me and you have been
twice.
Okay, twice. Fine.
Yeah. Wait. No, you're right.
3 times.
Wait, no.
I think once it was just me and you.
Then once Caleb tried to go, my old roommate Caleb tried to go, and then they were already booked out, so he just had to catch the bus back home once we got there. And then with you. So yeah, 3 times.
3 times.
You're right. Alright, good call.
Would going to a room screening like that where they chuck spoons and shit, would that be, speaking of Valentine's Day, a good date night?
Well, it depends. If you both are really like fans of movies, probably, because it's a very fun experience.
However, don't expect like anything afterwards because your like throat will be destroyed.
Yeah.
Not by dick, by like screaming.
And
And you've already spent an hour and a half with spoon, so she's going to be over spooning
Exactly.
as well at that point.
do you want to cuddle? No. Not doing it.
So if you're after the puss, don't go to the room.
Yeah.
You go watch.
And that's
Cats.
today's motto.
That's
Not motto.
Simi's life lesson.
Life lesson.
If you want puss, go get cats. Go
Yeah.
get cats or watch cats.
Well, I think we're wrapping up now. Thank you everybody for listening to our very, very romantic Valentine's Day
It's
special.
very hot and steamy.
It's very hot and steamy. Simi, who'd you pick? Who are you going to take home tonight?
That's right.
Alright, so me and Jacob have a lot in common. We both like animal abuse. Lachlan's a piece of shit.
The drug addiction. Don't forget the drug addiction.
Let's not forget the drug addiction. However, me and Lachlan connected on an emotional level with
It's
cats.
true.
I don't have that shared experience.
Yeah.
So in the end, it's a bit of a tough thing. So maybe, I'm thinking, how about we make this a love triangle?
Okay. I can do that.
Okay, I'm going to put my hand on your lap. And I'm
Yep.
going to put my hand on...
My leg's really sweaty.
Okay, yeah. And we'll just do
Oh, he's doing it.
We'll
He's
just
doing
do a triangle.
And then we can hold hands.
All right.
hold hands.
There we go. We're holding
Oh,
hands.
that's very
I
sweaty.
have a sweaty hand.
Okay.
Now we.
I'm glad we're doing a visual joke by holding hands and not putting hands
I'm
on.
gonna break.
That was-
I'm
I'm gonna
gonna
break as
slide away with my slimy
It
hand.
feels like we've been swimming.
Well,
I mean, we have been in a very small room in like, it's what,
My childhood
35
bedroom.
degrees outside.
This is
It's
very
probably
romantic.
40 degrees inside.
yeah.
I can just look over. Jacob is glistening
Oh
in the
my god,
sunlight.
Jacob,
Wow.
your shirt, your white shirt is just. It looks like you've been swimming.
It's like the thin fabric and it's just got all crinkly and like... It looks like old man skin. But,
well, thank you all for
I mean,
listening
it's
to
only
our,
been, what, an hour and 45 minutes? It's
Oh,
real.
really? Ooh, our longest episode yet.
we're going to milk this.
Can we make it to 2 hours
Our first
before
and
we
final
die?
guest. Well, yeah, thank you for everybody for listening to our romantic Valentine's Day special. Thank you, Simi/officially Overlord, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad you saluted. It's a bit more visual gags.
You wanna plug your stuff, Simi?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to plug your stuff?
No.
Check him out on YouTube. Officially Overlord.
Should we also thank Spiderman for joining us in this?
Thank you, Spiderman.
Thank you.
He didn't fall over.
No, he didn't.
This episode sucks.
Who did he choose? We
There he goes. There he goes. Quick, everybody. Timestamp in the comments. Did you hear him fall over?
Dora the Explorer. Did you hear him?
Speaking of Dora the Explorer.
Thank you all for watching, everyone. Fuck, listening.
Watch.
Yeah. Bye, I guess.
See yas.